Hello, everybody in the Renegade Wrestling Alliance fandom. I am Rob Massey, one half of the Wrestling Broadcast Excellence. This is a WBEX exclusive. So exclusive, Bobby Rossi didn't know about it yet. Apologize for him not being here, but this is the Thanksgiving Throwdown preview. Bobby Rossi and I have been working on this story, and on top of everything else, we're just trying to train for our match, and... Oh. You all right there?
Gee, this is a rib, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's...
Yeah. The truth be told. Hello, everyone. It's yours truly, everyone's favorite ain't great Bobby Rossi here, one half of Wrestling's Broadcast Excellence. And Rob, you said 8 o'clock, bud. It's 8 o'clock. We already started, huh?
Well, I mean, I did say 8 o'clock sharp. That's a very nice hat. But we're here to talk about the Thanksgiving Throwdown.
Yes, we are, man. And boy, we're drawing ever so close to the big bash.
I mean, one match that's got my attention, and mainly because my beverages have been stolen, is the Tag Team Championship match between the Hooligans, speaking of beverages, and the Movement, a team that has had a hair across their ass for about a year. And their championship reign started, well, none too ceremoniously, at Legacy.
He's got a loaded hand. He clocked! He just clocked Chris Dozer in the back of the head. He's got nuts! He's got nuts! FNB! The referee didn't see it. FNB trying to roll Dozer over. There's a cover. Not this way. No. 1, 2. Damn it! Damn it!
So you can say that the Movement grabbed the brass ring, so to speak, when it came to getting those championships?
I think that's a little bit of creative license there, Rob. You know, the Movement, I'll be honest with you, at one point, fellas, you actually had me in your corner. I was behind you. You never officially lost the tag team titles the first time around. But man, ever since laying claim to them this time around, you have proved to be poor champions. Through and throughout. Classless. So honestly, I know we're not supposed to be, biased about these things, but I hope they lose. Well, I'm rooting for the Hooligans.
And the Hooligans, this is the first time they've been together in about 3 years. Their first match back, Tom Billington broke his finger.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've said it before, at least alcohol numbs the senses. So I'm pretty sure Tom Billington, on that steady diet of booze and Snickers, and Pat McIntosh will be more than willing to take away about 14 pounds worth of gold.
Did you just say that Pat McIntosh is a part of Tom Billington's personal diet?
I didn't say that.
You said with all of the booze that he's consuming, the Snickers and Pat McIntosh, are you saying that Tom Billington makes it a point to consume Pat McIntosh when they're possibly getting ready for a match in the locker room?
To each their own.
Nonetheless, folks, this is a very sobering moment for me, and I'm hoping that Tom Billington and Pat McIntosh can show up slightly sober and claim themselves a new pair of championships.
Well, speaking of championships, but a team that put the entire RWA on notice was the Stacked Deck a couple of weeks ago. Mike Montero, the funny man Devin Blaze, and Chris Cruz, as you call him, the jack of all trade, they've kind of gotten under the skin of the Mac Attack and the RWA hype champion, Chris Pyro. And, well, here's why.
Cruz gets his shoulder up off the mat.
Train number 1 looking for that senton again. He was low bridged by Devin Blaze.
Direct your attention elsewhere, Monster Mick. No, this is not going to bode well for him at all.
Chris Cruz setting up. It looks like for a Tiger Bomb, and it's a Tiger Driver! Good night, Irene. That's got to be it. Cover 1, 2, 3. Well, great match by Chris Pyro, but I think we touched upon something by accident, Bobby Rossi, and it should be mentioned for both Chris Pyro and JT Dunn, and I think that is the championship disadvantage that I hinted at. That just wait a minute, what the hell's going on? It's Mike Montero, and he's stomping away at Chris Pyro. The Stacked Deck is back out here.
Wait a minute, we got the
Oh my God! The Canadian Destroyer and Chris Pyro after a huge victory.
Oh no. They said it tonight that they were going for all the gold, and he's holding up the Hype Championship. He's got his sights set on the first title here. I don't like this. Rob Massey, I don't like this.
Not at all.
Phoenix, I don't like this. RWA, YouTube, I don't freaking like this.
So, I still don't understand why the Stacked Deck attacked Chris Pyro after a match. I'm sure Chris Pyro is more than willing to take on one, if not all three, of the members of the Stacked Deck. And then to go after the Mac Attack the way they've been doing, well, those three are going to take on the Stacked Deck. And can we call this the Strong Style Mac Attack?
I mean, that's a good way to think about it. The Mac Attack has definitely been known to wrestle in somewhat of a strong style, as has Chris Pyro. Frankly, I think there's a little bit of unfinished business from the last time they met up with Chris Pyro and the Strong Style Express over at Legacy number 6. And it just so happens that we'll be at the very same venue that we were for Legacy number 6. That's right, over in the East Greenwich Memorial Armory, Varnum Continentals, folks. That is on 6 Main Street in East Greenwich.
And the doors will open at 6:30. Tickets are $10 for adults, $5 for kids. It is a family-friendly show, at least at the live venues. So bring the kids, bring the wife, bring the mistress if you care. You know, why not?
Maybe if the wife and the mistress get along, you could bring them both.
Hey, there you go. And you know what? Speaking of odd pairings and oddball situations, Mike Gross has lost a couple of screws.
To say the least.
You know, and that started back at Legacy 6 when he tangled with Davey Cash.
No. Not a pile driver. Not a pile driver. He used Mike Ross's own move to the exposed part of the ring.
So Mike Gross sustains a concussion at Legacy. He comes back on Hype 2 weeks later, sustains a second concussion. And somewhere between concussion 1 and concussion 2, those screws went bye-bye. He's no longer the Wave of the Future. He's the Mind Eraser, mainly because he can't remember anything about those 2 shows. And his attitude, his quest for JT Dunn's Triple Crown Championship has come to a boiling point. And he's included Davey Cash, who, let's face it, took out the Triple Crown Champion, and a guy that tried to help Mike Grassa in Tommy Trainwreck. Now, all 4 of those guys, Mike Grassa, Tommy Trainwreck, JT Dunn, the Triple Crown Champion, and Davey Cash, are going to tango in the second RWA Crown Jewel match. This isn't your typical ladder match, folks. You actually got to put the title back above the RWA ring. And because of the order established in the Beat the Clock Challenge at Devil's Night, JT Dunn is going to have to wait to get out there and defend his championship. It's going to be Davey Cash, of all people. He's going to be facing off against Tommy Trainwreck. Mike Grassa gets the third entrant, and that's going to be 2 minutes into the match. And then JT Dunn is going to come out 4 minutes into the match and finally start to defend his championship. Dunn could get out there, and the match is already over. I mean, I'm a fan of the Juice JT Dunn. He's a good champion. I'm telling you, it's not looking good for the champion.
Well, it seems as if he's got everything stacked against him, small pun intended. But we have seen the Juice JT Dunn take on various adversaries, not only in this RWA ring and not only at the Chop Shop and in our live shows, but throughout the entire region. So the guy's no stranger to being, up against a mountain, to say the least. I don't know. I don't see the match being over within 4 minutes.
Well, and all that is going to take place at RWA Thanksgiving Throwdown in the Varnum Continental Armory, East Greenwich, Rhode Island. November 9th, 6:30 is when the doors open. $10 for adults, $5 for kids. Family-friendly show. Bring everybody down. And, I mean, a couple of matches that we'll touch on a little bit here. The Irish Warrior is going to take on Jack Connor. Jack Connor trying to take a little bit of revenge after his treatment and being tossed around like a rag doll. Hey, like that Aerosmith reference there for Jack Connor? At Devil's Night, also, Stan Styles is going to take on Nick Marchand. And we know Abraham Gore is going to be in Marchand's corner.
Always the X factor of a match, if you will. That sneaky Aaron Gore. Anything can happen with that guy at ringside. You have a third party. To whoever is refereeing that match, I just want to say, keep a close eye on that Gore fellow.
And we're going to have a pre-show match. It's going to be Jason Devine taking on Damian Black. Those two have a long, sordid rivalry here in RWA. That ought to be interesting.
Well, certainly will. And I think that's one of the better matches to have start off a show because those two guys have always been known to be 150 miles an hour straight out of the gate.
And, well, not to toot our own horn here, but we're not going to be just at the commentary table, partner. We're going to be stepping up against the Men of Honor. Well, he's not our Canadian hero, but he's somebody's Canadian hero, Dante, and Mr. Sterling, the Men of Honor. And, well, without getting too personal, those guys have stepped over the line. They've drawn a line in the sand. They think that we can't handle ourselves in the ring, even though in September, I believe I have a pinfall victory over Dante.
This is true.
Those two guys want to do a lot of talking. We'll do our talking in the ring. All of that is going to be at the RWA Thanksgiving Throwdown. November 9th, 6:30 is when the doors open. And, well, the Throwdown has a name for a reason because our main event, 30 men, will enter the Throwdown match. And the last man standing after this match is over will be the number one contender for the Triple Crown Championship at Dynasty. Jason Devine was last year's winner, ended up being at Christmas Chaos because of the wonderful New England weather. But Jason Devine knows what it's like to be in that match. We don't know all the participants yet, but if you draw anywhere between 1 through 30 in that match, you have a chance to climb to the top of the RWA mountain and become the Triple Crown champion at some point this spring. And you know what? Everything is on the line in that match for anybody who steps through those ropes.
Absolutely. Winning a matchup like this can be the stepping stone that you need to springboard into the next level of your career. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bobby Rossi. I am seated alongside the classy Rob Massey. We're getting ready for the Thanksgiving Throwdown, and we'll see you there.
Have a good one, folks.